back to Brotherly Beliefs, Faith, Family, and Fun. I'm Malik.
And I'm Tristan. Join us for candid conversations about life tapestries, from the faith that binds us, family that shapes us, to the pure fun woven in every moment. So grab a cup of coffee and settle in. Let's dive into this episode of Brotherly Beliefs.
What we got today, Tristan?
So, what common beliefs do you think have brought us closer together?
I think the main common belief, like, are we talking like faith, like religion and all
Faith,
that, or just like
faith, societal beliefs, anything like that? What kind of? Because we haven't always talked about God, obviously.
right? Yeah.
That wasn't what we first headed
that
off
would,
with.
right? Yeah.
So what kind of, from the beginning, what do you think? What beliefs do you think brought us closer together rather than pushing us apart?
Right. I think first thing was, let's see, what's the first thing? I think it was what you stood for, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like how you take respect. And I think that we're the same in that aspect. So that made me like, okay, like we're on the same page, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that was the first thing that caught my attention, you know, that was like in common for us. So I think after respect, I'm not sure.
So I would agree with the respect part,
Yeah.
right? But then I would also say we are both very goal driven.
Yeah.
But we also know.
But did you know that in the beginning though? Is that one of the first things that you caught?
You had that kind of, I wouldn't say vibe, but that energy, that goal driven energy. But because I never saw, you were never like, when you first started coming around, you weren't a big like goofball, like you weren't opened up that way.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went out the first time, I also saw that you know when to let loose.
Oh yeah.
When you know when to be business and when to like have that time to just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's one thing that I would say brings us closer together, is because when we're ready to go, we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know when we can just let loose and just put everything else on pause for a moment.
Like time and place kind of thing.
Yeah, and then pick it back up as soon as we need to.
Yep. Cool. So what's your favorite thing that like we have in common?
Oh, yeah, that we're goal driven.
Goal driven?
Goal driven would 100% be what it is.
Yeah.
Because I know if I have an idea, I can present it to you, and either you're gonna be like, yeah, that's a good idea, or no, let's scrap it, and then we can focus on the next thing, or I can bring in the next idea, and you'll give me that honest opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of people lack. A lot of people will tell you what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be told what I want to hear.
Right.
I want a straight shot, so I know if this is a waste of time, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can put my energy into something more important.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree with goal driven, because I feel like we can, with us being goal driven, we can go so far, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's different from if one of us was goal driven and then the other was like just kind of like going through life, you know what I mean? Just not really caring about what happens, you know? So.
Oh, yeah. It's that dynamic of like elevating each other.
Right.
All right. So in my opinion, like if I was in like, we can use example, right? If I don't got it, you don't. If you don't have it, then I got it, right? Kind of thing. There's not a situation where I'm like, oh, well, whether it's $20 or a ride somewhere, you know what I mean? If you don't got it, I got it. So if you're like, hey man, look, check was short $20. Like, can you loan me $20?
Yeah.
Fuck it, here. Like, bring you to that same level, right? And that's not even just like financially, but mentally too, right? We have enough respect for each other that we'll allow each other to challenge each other's like kind of thought process.
Yeah, like pick each other's brain.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And so, because I don't know everything,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you don't know everything.
Yeah.
There's things that I know that you don't know. There's things that you know that I don't know. Whether it's whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could change your brake pads. You know how to change brake pads,
Nope.
right?
Yeah.
But if I need help editing a video,
Yeah. Yeah.
I know where I can come. Like we can your speakers in your
Mhm.
car.
Right.
have
Yeah.
no idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey man, I know you just did this with your truck. You want to help me do it with my car? Yeah, no
Right.
problem, man. And I look for that dynamic in friendships too, right? Because like you are who you surround yourself with. And so if you are surrounding yourself with people who are just using you or anything like that, you're going to become that person too. You're going to
Right.
become the person that uses people, right?
Mm-hmm.
In relationships and friendships, there should be a balance. It should be give and take, right? I should be able to bring just as much into this as you bring into it, right? So whether it's financially, mentally, whatever means necessary, we have to meet in the middle somewhere,
Right.
right? So we have an idea, right? We could say we're shooting a movie.
Mm-hmm.
We can have the idea. Boom, we work together on the idea. All right. I might not have as much time to put into it so we have script and everything done, right? We work together on all of this up to this point. Look, I don't got time to do this, but I will finance all of it, right? So at some point, you got to meet in the middle somewhere. You got to have that, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so, because ultimately that's what everything is. Everything is time or money.
Right.
When you're coming into ideas of business and stuff like that, it's either time or money. So what you're missing out on time, you have to make up in money, right? So there has to be a balance between, and that goes for even business partners.
Yeah.
When you lay in a bed with business partners, they have to bring something to the table.
Yep.
Right? That's why there's buy-ins,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that in companies, because they have to know you're willing to be a part, actually be a part of something, that you're actually gonna bring something to the table.
Right. And I think that's another thing that I like about us is that we're both sponges, you know what I mean? We both like to learn.
Yeah.
So even with the car situation, stuff like that, I didn't just ask you to do it for me, you know what I'm saying?
You were right there next to me.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to soak in as much, try to help as much as I can with whatever knowledge I had, you know what I'm saying? And then that way I'm able to learn and be able to have more knowledge the next time, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, and then same with you with the editing and stuff like that. You were so excited to show me that you had edited some snips of the podcast one day, you know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that, it really shows that how much a person cares and how much a person wants to learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And we got into this last time, knowledge is power.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So the more knowledge I have of something, right? I can tell you I have so much knowledge about stocks. I don't play the stocks because I feel like it's gambling, and I'm not just gambling. I'm not in the position of my life where we're just gambling away money.
Yeah.
$20 in the slot machine is different than $1,000 in a stock market, right?
Yeah.
But I have knowledge of it. I have knowledge of LLCs and the way business structure should be and all of this stuff. I just haven't reached to a point where I need that knowledge.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'll continuously collect this knowledge and collect this, and we've sat down and talked about it, like business model wise,
right, yeah.
of what point we hit where Brotherly Beliefs becomes an LLC or anything like that. So it's kind of laying those building blocks until you get to a point where the knowledge that you have is useful.
Right.
Because if you want to get somewhere, when you get there's not the time to learn.
Right.
You got to learn before you get there.
And then all these steps now, even though you say you're not ready for it right now, you'll know what like steps and what path you need to take in order to get through it, instead of getting to that point and being like, oh, I should have did this before. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean?
100%.
You know how to go through that.
100%. And so it's kind of like, it's like the podcast, right? We, you don't, there's no there's no one who just knows how to do this.
Right.
100%. There's like, from getting stuff put out or anything like that, there's nobody who knows how to just do it, right? You have to learn, right? So we spend our time just, okay, this is how we do it, this is how we do it. Okay, I have the knowledge, let me share the knowledge with you. You relay any knowledge that you have. We put the pieces together, and then we're like, okay, this is how we do it, execute.
Right.
And then when you have the knowledge beforehand and you're like building up to this point of release, you have all the knowledge. And when we had difficulties and we had problems, I was able to fix it.
Right.
Because I already knew. I already played around with it and looked at it and figured out how to fix the issues that may come up, whether we had them or not.
Right. Yeah.
The issues came up, so boom, got knocked down, fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're learning how to, so if your goal is, I want to own a business here, okay, what are your margins for revenue, right? Margins for revenue, do you know what that means?
No.
Okay, margins for revenue, right? So how much are you going to put in versus how much are you going to make, right?
Okay, yeah.
So car wash. We can use a car wash as an example. You can make good money on using doing car washes and detailing, right? But all of your products are going to be your like money out, your debt, right? So where's your margin for revenue? Okay, so high end car lots that are car detailers who have been in the business for a while make $1,000 each car for a full wash. That's inside and out. Right, full detail, wax, polish, clear coat, anything that could be done is done, right? Shampoos the inside, wipes everything down, all of that, right? So they make $1,000 off of a car. You do not have the experience to make $1,000 off of a car.
Right.
You don't, right?
Nor the tools necessary.
100%. So you start small, right? Say you have stuff to polish a car, not very expensive. You're going to hand polish everything. So you're going to hand polish everything because you don't have the money for a buffer or anything like that. So you're going to hand polish everything and do it this way. And so your margin of revenue is smaller immediately because you just can't make that much.
Yeah.
So now you have to focus on what products you're going to use that are going to be good products, but also leave you a margin for revenue.
Yeah, yeah.
And so these are all things you have to think about when you're going into business. So when you're getting into a business loan, right, you have to think about your margin of revenue. How much money do you have to make to pay back your loan, right? Say your loan's $200 a month, right? You work out of a truck that's already paid off. Okay, so now you have to make at least $200 just to cover your loan. Okay, so say every week, say you go, so we'll say every month you go through $200 in supplies, right? $400. You have to make $400 a month in profit to
just to like zero out.
Yeah, just to zero out. Okay, so then you want to get to a point where you make money, enough money to pay for next month's product, so then you're always a month ahead. Right? So $600. Your first month, make $600, and you'll be set up for success. Because at that point, you make that $200, you're paying for your next month's supply. You make that for the next $200, you paid for your loan, and anything past that is just profit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good lesson right there. So you should always go in with the mindset of like, what, even starting a business or just in general, just like budgeting, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So going with the mindset like that, then you're obviously like set up for success. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at going into a new job. You know what I mean? I have to add up all of my bills and all that and things like that, how much I'm gonna make an hour, just base it off a 40-hour work week. Would I be able to afford this? You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
So that's just how I look at it in that way.
Oh, 100%. And if you're doing like blue collar jobs, that if you're doing trades, really, if you're doing trades, look at opening your own business, because if you have all your licensing and everything like that, getting transferred over is not that hard, really. And so, if you own your own tools and you already own your own stuff, your transfer is not hard, right? You got to think about it. These companies are making more money off of these things than you are, right? People who like work for security companies, it's the same way. These people are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for these contracts, when you could be the guy getting those contracts. The contract's not hard to get. The hardest part about like these security companies is licensing. Get your licensing out the way, you're good to go.
So how would you go into like starting that? You know what I mean? Because you say it's not hard.
Do the research.
But like, as far as like, how are you gonna get the company to trust you? You know what I mean? Like, do you do like work smaller things up until you get enough like referrals and all that? You know what I mean?
So then you just you start small, right? So then you start with events, right? So same way you would do with like videography, right? You start with tattoo artists, stuff like this, right? So same way you do wedding venues. Where a lot of wedding venues have security in house. You get a contract with them. Smaller gas stations, hotels. Most hotels have outside security. Stuff like that, and then you work to a point where now you have all these properties, but you also have to maintain, like you had like, so it's step one, get your licensing. So you got to do the research, get the knowledge to do the licensing. Step two, get your first contract. You can work your first contract by yourself, right? Or you and one other person. Say it's a $10,000 contract for 6 months. Not bad. So you pay your guy however much you're going to pay him, and then you work the other shift. You probably need 3 guys, ideally. You want 2 guys during the week, or 4. 2 guys during the week and 2 guys on weekends. Or you do 3 on, and you do like a Panama, 3 on, 3 off, 2 on, 2 off. And then you always have coverage. But you do this one place, right? 24-hour security. Or you just do a night shift, whatever it may be. And then you take that and you use, I already have this guy, this company, and you put this on your resume as a business. We have this person, we've been in we have this experience, like I have this experience. So whether it's military, police, anything like that. And then you go and you have to be personable, right? This all, every business contract that you're ever going to get is based off of who you are as an individual and how you walk in that meeting. And I can tell you, I'm going to walk into that meeting like nobody could stop me from protecting your property, right? So I'm going to walk in there like I have the knowledge, whether I have the knowledge or not. Sometimes you have to bullshit and just CYA, cover your ass, right? So you walk in there with the confidence of, I can do this and you should choose me, right? So trailer parks, apartment complexes, these are all smaller entities that still, like, when they have security, they make more money.
And then that goes for like anything. You like just knowing your stuff and being confident about yourself. You can get into the door of a lot of things just from that way. And like the more you talk about in confidence what you do, they're gonna be like, oh, you know what you're talking about. You know your stuff. Like this isn't your first time.
Yeah.
You know?
Even if like, and that's the thing I think is so important. If they ask a question that you don't know the answer, tell them you don't know the answer, but tell them in the best way possible, right? Or give them an answer that they would not be able to tell that you don't know what you're talking about, right?
And then it's like, I'll say for me or whatever in the videography business and stuff like that, sometimes you gotta have like ask yourself questions like difficult questions, like how would you answer this? You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing a big project and the person wanted to meet up to discuss everything, yeah, that's cool. We'll meet up and all that. But I'm going in with the mindset that I'm not going to give you a price.
Yeah.
Not at all. Because I don't know anything about the project yet. I have to go home and calculate everything like we said that last episode. So if the question does come up, like, what would your quote be for something like this? I'll be like, I have to go home and chalk everything up. You know, there's a lot that goes into this that needs to be like added up accordingly, and then I'll give you an accurate price. Like, and then I can say that, and I'll give you that that accurate price in a few days, like, or give them a certain day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to have that like spreadsheet too. You know what I mean? So just being professional in that way helps too.
Yeah, 100%. You got to anticipate their questions.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, it's very much like same way with like security of your house, right? You think about these scenarios of what would I do. You should do the same thing when you're going in for like picking up a client or whatever it may be. Anticipate those questions. I don't care if it's a job interview. Anticipate the questions that they're going to ask
Yeah,
you, right? Because when you're looking at a client, it is a job interview.
Yep.
Right? But it's a job interview for your business, not for you as an individual. Right?
You got to sell yourself. Like,
yes, 100%.
why would they want to book you when they could book anyone else?
100%.
Yeah.
And so you have to anticipate these questions. Okay, they could ask me how many employees I have. Okay, I have 6 employees. This is the qualifications. This is why I hired them. Here's more information on them. Da 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 da. Okay, boom. So then you are always a step ahead.
Right.
You're always always have an answer ready for whatever they could ask you. But getting your foot in the door is the hardest part, right? Once you get your foot in the door, you just have to talk about yourself.
Yep.
And anybody should be able to talk about themselves confidently, right? If you can't talk, if you walk into a job interview and you're nervous and you stumble over your words, you need to work on that. You don't have confidence in yourself. That's what it is. That's lack of confidence. Yeah. I can walk into a room and talk about myself like there's no problem, right? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Okay, I want to be here, here, and here, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Next question. Boom. Whatever they ask me, you have to be able to. They could ask me where I'm going to be in 30 years. I have no clue, no idea. Yeah. But I'm gonna pull something like you're gonna have that confidence to think on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
To think on the spot, and whatever you say is the truth, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? You have this. Your delivery has to be, man. I can't tell if he's lying or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think, and that's just how it works. That's how you get yourself into these positions that you want, is sell yourself, sell the best version of you.
You ever seen Wolf on Wall Street?
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. He was so good at selling different things to certain people, like just from his words, you know what I mean? Yep. They never seen the man, they never even talked to him before, but he was so trustworthy and he sounded so confident, you know what I'm saying? That's how he was able to make those sales, you know what I mean? So it's just going in with the confidence and like being able to speak like you know what you're talking about is going to get you the clients and get you the sales.
Yeah.
So going back on what we was talking about in the beginning, kind of like we talked about our common beliefs and we talked about talking about respect and things like that. But there's more things, you know what I mean? Like with like relationships, you know, we're always, well, obviously we always haven't been loyal.
Yeah.
But when we met each other, we were at the loyal stage. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We took a relationship serious, and we didn't hang around people that would like cheat. You know what
Oh
I
yeah.
mean? And we didn't want to like surround ourselves around like situations like that. So yeah, that's another way that I think of like relationship wise.
Yeah, 100%. Not even just relationship, like romantically, but platonically too. What we'll allow our friends to say and won't say, like in
Right.
what
Yeah.
points we we cut ties because we don't our beliefs aren't aligned. That's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. It could detriment you or your partner. You know what I'm saying? And it's just with how we carry ourselves. You know what I mean? Like I'll say like I'm friendly, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I could talk to anybody, man, female, and just like have a regular conversation with them. But the moment that I like even think that they're taking it too far, like I'll draw the line right there and make
Yeah.
sure it's known. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when I start a conversation, I somehow bring up my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My wife, kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So that way that line doesn't get crossed to begin with.
And I do that on purpose, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I purposely bring up conversations about my wife, 100% now.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I bring up Caitlin, and I talk about Caitlin. I talk about the baby, and on purpose, because then I know for sure that line is there. That line is already established.
Yep.
Now, if you cross this, you obviously know you're doing it. And
Yeah,
and that's
you
the
just
point where
don't care.
you cut ties. And so, yeah, I would agree. Like we both carry ourselves, and I think I have that same problem. I can talk to anybody. I can start a conversation with anybody, but some people take that as like something more, and that's not on me. It's not on me, right? It's not on me for them to take it as more. I can't do nothing about that. I can just be careful about like noticing when they are taking it in a different type of way.
Right.
Um,
And then that also goes into like we're married and things like that. We have kids on the way. We always we have common beliefs about parenting as well. We just had a whole conversation about it about like 3-4 episodes ago. You know what I mean?
100%.
So we had common beliefs about how we discipline our kids. You know what I mean, or how we would discipline our kids, how we plan to raise them. You know, all things like that. So
yeah, and our drives to get out of here, like to move away.
Yep.
Like we both want to move away. We both and we talk about it all the time. We us one of us following the other, because it's really about who pulls the trigger first.
Right. Yeah.
Is what it really boils down to. One of us is gonna leave, and one of us probably meeting the other one wherever we're at. But it's also about deciding where we're gonna go, Malik.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I already have a set spot, but I got 4 more years.
Yeah, but we've also
do
had
some traveling.
Yeah, let me go see what it's like.
Yeah. Real.
It's not set in stone. Your place isn't set in stone.
Right now it is.
It is.
Yeah, I've been talking about Florida. You know that.
But until you find if you find something else,
Yeah,
it's not like 100. You're not 100% set on it. Your mind could be changed.
True. Yeah.
We could go to L.A.
Yeah, that's another spot that I was thinking about.
And we talked about Phoenix, but you said you want to visit Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
I want to go to all the places and just like see what it's like. You know what I'm saying? How the atmosphere is. I'd have to spend like at least
I won't move
a
to
week.
New York. New York was the one place I won't go.
Really?
So, yeah.
You said it was like nasty, didn't you? Or like, did you?
There's like pollution in the air.
Yeah.
Really bad pollution. But that's any big city.
Right. Yeah.
New York is really bad.
But yeah, I'd have to see what the atmosphere is like.
I'd visit New York, but I would not live there.
Yeah.
I would love to visit.
Right. Like it's pretty.
I'd
it
love
has
to go
its
see
pretty
a Broadway show.
Yeah. It has its features and things like that. But like I said, with traveling and stuff like that, I have to spend at least a week there if I'm looking to see if it's a place I would live and continue my career. You know what I'm saying?
I'd have to, but within that week, I'd have to see many things. Like I'd have to see, like, the city life. Number one, like night, like nightlife, as in like, what is the atmosphere like bars and stuff like that. but also like, is there an opportunity for business there?
Right.
Right. For
Exactly.
whatever my business is.
Mm.
Obviously, if I'm a pilot, I can go anywhere.
Mm. And
But
you go.
like videography,
Yeah.
you have to make sure that there is a like, not even that there's just jobs, there's room for you,
Mm.
right? It's not overpopulated with videography
Mm.
to the point where it maxes out the clientele,
Mm.
right? So there's less clientele than there are videographies, and then now you are in a kiddie pool, or you're a shark in a kiddie pool,
Right.
or
Exactly.
however the fish in a kiddie pool,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. But right. Exactly. So like I have to, like you said, there's so many things that
Shark in a kiddie pool.
there's so many things that like factor into that. Like you said, I have to see how many videographers there are. First of all, I'm going into a city, a state that I know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? And I have to see within that city or cities wherever we travel to, like just by talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like, do you know any videographers here? Like, do you like what's the like you said, the city, like downtown, like nightlife, like
Yeah.
I'll go just to a few popular locations or I'll ask people around like that's from there or that's lived there for a while. Hey, what are some popular like bars or clubs? You know what I'm saying? See if they have any videographers there at the event. If they do, talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different that's how I started out here. I went to Onyx, that club, and then that's how I met some of my like closest videographer, photographer friends. Is I didn't have anything to start with, and I just asked them because I was interested in that career. You know what I'm saying? So I just talked to them. Obviously, they're working, so I just told them I was interested in. I thought that what they were doing was really cool, and I got their information. You know, I told them I'd like to shadow them. So it's but obviously I treat it differently now that I have experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, just getting in the loop in that way, you know, it helps out a lot.
100%.
And then even off of the topic of the career, I have to see if it's a good spot for my family as well. Because with kids and like I have to find a good neighborhood for just to be at home, you know what I'm saying? I have to figure out crime rates and
100%.
like what school is like for my sons and things like that. Because I don't want them to get wrapped up in things that's gonna detriment their future. You know what I mean? So things like that. You know, just thinking of a bunch of things.
But also, like, you have to be able to establish some sort of clientele before you get there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
you have to have like,
because I can't start with nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because the goal isn't to move down there and work another job, right? It's to be able
Right.
to focus on videography.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to have some kind of clientele before you can get out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have what, 4 years left?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years left to
Yeah.
build that clientele out there,
Yeah.
or just get your name into
into the streets out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I say, like travel there for a week. You know what I mean? And anywhere I go, I try and bring my camera. I have to like it depends on the trip. You know what I mean? So obviously, if it's something romantic like Valentine's Day, I have to leave it here. But yeah, I try and get as much as I can on my phone. But anyways, yeah, trying to meet and get new people and clientele. You know what I mean? Because I have a DJ that I know that's based in Tampa, Florida. So anytime like he needs to like events, you know, he throws events, or if he's working with someone that's throwing events and they need a videographer, you know what I mean? I'm in his ear already, you know. And I already have another videographer friend that lives out there who does music videos and stuff like that. I could go with him or work with him for a few shoots or whatever. And then some people like might see me there as well. And then we just exchange information that way.
Yeah.
So it's just different stuff like that. Like that's another reason why I'm thinking about Florida is because I already have like a foot or a toe, I'll say, in there. But that's why, you know, the week thing and traveling anywhere else, you know.
Yeah. My thing is, genuinely, my goal would be to be somebody's like personal pilot.
Right. Yeah, 100%. That would be cool. Yeah.
And so,
like an artist or something like that.
Artist, like like content creator or anything. Like I don't care. Like you want to buy a plane, artist, content creator, athlete, anything.
Yeah.
You want me to come out and fly you? Psh, call me.
Yeah. And then
Like, reach out.
you're so comfortable with the one person too, you know what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So like you guys build a relationship and it's not just it doesn't kind of feel like a job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're doing that because you want it as a career, like it's something that excites you, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not downing anybody that works 9 to 5s, whatever works for you, trust me, like keep doing that. But me, I personally don't like working a 9 to 5, and it's paying the bills and doing everything it needs to do right now. But that's not the future goal for me. So when I'm doing the videography and stuff, I don't want it to feel like a 9 to 5. So I don't want to get stuck in a job like mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I like the idea of freelance videographer. So.
Yeah, and that's my thing is okay. I don't know the rates. I'd have to look more into the rates and stuff. But say you're just a pilot for one tour, and you have a set amount for however much you're gonna fly, and it's a 6 months tour. Dude, you fly, boom, one city to the next.
Yep,
be fine.
And then that's another thing with being someone's personal pilot is, like I said, you get to build that relationship. Sometimes you might fly and be like, don't worry about this one's on me, you know what I'm saying? And then they might scratch your back the next time. You're like, you know what? Like, you've been loyal to me, you know what I'm saying? Here's a like fat tip, you know what I'm saying, on top of what they're already paying you. And then just the experience, you know what I'm saying? Because they're artists or they're athletes. They're gonna want to have like parties or something on the plane, or obviously not too crazy. Y'all are in air, but you know, you get to experience different stuff like with them. Like, oh man, there was one time that I flew Drake to like San Antonio or something like that, and he had like different artists like Kendrick Lamar, or he had J. Cole on there too. And like you just get to meet different people. You get to see different things.
100%.
Yeah. So it's super cool, man. That's super cool.
Yeah. Like that would ultimately, and I don't even have, like, I'm telling you, just a billionaire, just random billionaire or millionaire in the world, just hire me as your pilot. I'll fly you anywhere you want to go.
And then if you, that's another thing. I'm
former military, so don't worry, you'll be safe.
I'll
carry with me. Don't worry.
Right. And then that's another thing. Like, you don't have to just work for one person. You can, as long as the schedules line up, you could work for as many people. Like I was saying, Drake and all that. Like, you get to meet those different people. They might want you to fly them somewhere too. And then, like you said, billionaires.
Truth there is, but you could be a personal pilot for one person, and you have a set salary. So whether you fly once a month or 6 times that month, you're on the set.
You're still getting paid,
but you're just constantly on standby.
Yeah.
So if he's like, "Hey, I need a flight this day," okay, sounds good. Boom, book the flight, get it ready, have your plane ready. They get on, you take off, go wherever. I don't care, Bora Bora, Cancun, whatever.
And
I'm chilling in Cancun for however long they're there.
And then same with billionaires and stuff like that. You know, you're flying billionaires. You obviously meet more billionaires. You know, they go on business trips and all that. So that you get worked in that way too.
I'm telling you, just one person. I finished flight school in 2 years.
It's like one person is all I need.
One person.
Just set me up.
Just give me a nice little offer and I'll do it.
Right.
100%. I don't care.
Right.
You want me to move? Only place I won't move is Alaska.
Alaska.
I'll move anywhere else in the U.S. Don't move me to Alaska. Nope.
Is there more than one reason for Alaska?
That's far.
Yeah. Super far.
And they have where it's winter for 3 months out of the year.
Yeah. Isn't there a spot in Alaska that is always nighttime?
I don't know.
I know it's somewhere.
I'd go visit Alaska. I'd go visit Alaska, but I would never live there.
Right.
I want to go on a bighorn ram hunt. but it's like a lottery. I know nothing about hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know some things about hunting, but I've never been hunting. Like I don't know how to execute it.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wanted to fly me out for a hunting trip, I'd take it too,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I want to learn how to duck hunt because duck hunting looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty decent with a shotgun. Deer hunting and um turkey hunting. Those are the three things that like.
You can make so much. You can make so much with deer and all that. I know so many people that make deer jerky and like just like eat deer meat. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
I'm telling you, those three things. I just want to do each of them once. I don't even need to be great at it. Just let me shoot one deer in my life, and I'll be fine. Duck hunting, I want to get good at duck hunting.
Yeah.
Duck hunting looks fun.
Is there a specific reason other than it being fun that you prefer duck hunting over deer hunting?
It just looks more fun.
Yeah.
Like deer hunting, you're just sitting in a blind or you're tracking, whatever.
Yeah.
But duck hunting, you're sitting in a blind and you're like just shooting ducks. Like I don't know what it is. Like I just think when you pop up and just
like, would
pow.
you shoot them out the air too?
Yeah, I'm telling you that.
Cool.
It just looks cool. I don't know what better way to put it than it just looks fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man. So kind of what are the things I'm having a stroke. I don't know what
No, you're good.
Um
Going back to, you brought up our movie that we're about to film, man.
I didn't bring it up. I just kind of foreshadowed it, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in the works.
Yeah, we're definitely in the works for a movie. So if you guys like want some acting experience, you know what I'm saying, or you guys just want to be an extra, just want to be in it, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got some guys I work with who want to be extras.
Yeah, so if you guys want to be a part of the Wichita movie, you know what I'm saying, definitely hit us up privately, you know what I mean. It's in the works. We're still scripting, so we might see it this year, we might see it next year, you know what I mean. We're gonna take our time and make it a good movie, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, definitely
best movie to come out of Wichita ever.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Academy Awards, okay? First
Man,
movie,
yeah.
first and only movie is gonna be boom.
Yeah.
No, I won't say only movie because who knows?
Oh yeah, no, not only movie. That's crazy.
No.
You're definitely be making more.
First movie, we're gonna drop it, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's gonna.
Yeah.
God got it.
Yeah. Amen.
And that's a whole process in of itself, man. Chase your dreams, you guys. That's really what I gotta tell you. It's just chase them, man. Whatever you want to do and whatever you feel like you're good at, do it.
Yeah.
Ask God for guidance and to steer you in the right direction.
At what point did you know that being a pilot is what you wanted to do?
When I continuously came back to it. So I went to the Army. I was like, man, I want to be a pilot.
Was that your first thought?
Yeah, I've been trying to be a pilot in the Army since day one. But
No, I mean, like, was that the first time you thought about being a pilot?
No, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've just always thought planes were cool. I used to play like flight simulators. Like, I just thought it was cool. Like the entire, like, I either wanted to be a pilot or an astronaut, and I'm not being no astronaut.
Yeah, why you say that?
I'm not spending months in space.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, or spend years training and never go to space.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, a pilot's very attainable.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of just want to, I like the freedom of like the thought of freedom when you fly. Just like there's no other car, like it's not like a car, right? You don't have to worry about you have to worry about other planes, but it's not like driving. It's not, right? Mm-hmm. Learn how to stunt fly. That seems cool.
What is that?
Like doing stunts in a plane.
Like barrel rolls and
barrel
all that?
rolls, yeah.
That's cool.
Tail dropping. Just.
I've never seen that before. That's real? Like they do that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's like me though. Like I think I really took an interest in film. I want to say I was in like fourth grade when I really took interest in film because I think my parents had a little camcorder because my dad would always take videos and stuff like that of the family just to keep for memories. And we always look back at those videos, see how cool it was. Like I was like a baby when he had it. So just seeing myself and my family members that aren't around anymore, you know what I mean? So stuff like that is cool. And he let me use it one day when I was in fourth grade. And he was like, make something for us, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, cool. So then me and my sister were really like thinking like what are we gonna do? Like this is gonna be the story. And we were like, we're gonna do like Pops just went missing, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like 12-year-olds making
Yeah.
stuff like this. Like Pops went missing, we can't find him. Mom works and like Pops doesn't, which was like complete opposite of what was actually going on. So we were going out and like we had these little almost, well, it was like a bunch of tall grass. Like it was like almost like a jungle, you could say.
Yeah.
But but we filmed like just like looking in there and stuff like that. Like, oh, we can't find him. Where is he? You know what I'm saying? And obviously it wasn't much thought. We're 12 and all that. But it's just like looking back on something like that. Like I really enjoyed that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think ever since then I've always like was betting on I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to get into editing, and I made YouTube videos and stuff like that, just little ones, and I edited off like a free thing on my phone. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have CapCut back then,
Yeah.
but we did have iMovies, so I was using that, and just I've always enjoyed it, and I've always wanted to do it, so it stuck with me ever since. So.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing about like the difference, right? Planes, I can't just hop. Well, there is a thing called a discovery flight, right? You could do it. You could choose like pay for a discovery flight, and you get up there with a flight instructor, and you control the plane, and
That's
you
crazy.
fly the plane, right?
Yeah.
That's the closest thing you get to picking it, like flying wise, to picking up a camera and just like playing with it. You can't just pick up a plane and play with it. Like it's
Yeah, that's serious.
Yeah, that's like life or death type of thing. And so, who knows? And that's the truth is, who knows? I might not like it. I might waste $90,000 for a 2-year program, but it's what I want to do genuinely, and I think there's no way I don't like it. And I was talking to somebody in the Army who is a pilot, and I was kind of like, I like the thought of it. Like, the thought of it sounds great, phenomenal, but I've never done it, so I don't know if I actually like it. He said, "Do you like driving?" I said, "Yeah, I love driving." He said, "What do you like about he said, "Do you like driving fast?" I said, "Yeah, I like driving fast. I love it. I'd be a race car driver if I could." And he said, "Okay, what do you not like about, or what do you like about driving fast?" I said, "Controlling the uncontrollable." He said, "You will love flying."
That's a crazy way to think about it. That's super crazy. So, what made you not want to be a race car driver? Wasn't your grandpa one? Or your uncle? Yeah.
Money, man. I've thought about this. I thought about
what it takes a lot of money to get there.
Oh yeah, man. I thought about souping out the truck and stripping it down and getting a body kit for it and everything, and taking it to 81 and doing amateur racing and all of this, because I know for a fact I could win. I know for a fact I'm a good enough driver that if I had a fast car, I could win. I know it. But it just takes a lot of money, man. Yeah. It's really expensive.
Yeah, that have to be like a hobby kind of thing to make that happen.
And you don't make much money off of it.
You're putting in more than what so you're really doing it because you love it. You know what I'm saying?
Because most people make money off of like sponsors and stuff like that. So and you don't get that until you're past amateur. You have to get somewhere. And so, yeah, man. Yeah, you guys want to sponsor my race car? You guys can. I'll do it. I would 100%. I can't. I'm very confident that I would win. Like, there's no. I'm a pretty good driver, man. You see me drive. I'm pretty good, man. I got myself out of some pretty shady stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, man, I've raced before. I used to race like street race. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But I don't know what the statute of limitation is on that. But yeah, I used to allegedly I used to street race, man, for money, and I used to make some pretty pennies.
Some pretty pennies.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. Thank you.
I had a buddy with a Honda Tiburon that was supercharged.
That's crazy. So did you used to race his?
Yeah.
His car?
Yeah.
That's cool. Man, shout out to him for trusting you too. That takes a lot of trust.
But like out of all my friends, everyone knew I was the best driver. Like it was a hands down thing. Like everybody knew. No matter what car I got in, what wheel behind out, I got behind. I was winning like that. I was just good. I'm just naturally like a good driver, and so yeah, man. And I just love controlling the uncontrollable.
That's cool. That's really cool. And you could tell whenever you're trying to figure out what career you want to get into and stuff like that, you'll know just by how you talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like how you talked about racing and how you talked about airplanes and things like that, you could tell like you lit up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just talking about it. And then same for me, just thinking back about how I like I even started, you know what I'm saying, when I first picked up a camera. So you can tell. And for the people that don't really know exactly what they want to do, just like think of what you wanted to do as a kid, you know what I mean? Just like think, do you even still like smile when you think about those times? Like, is that just something that still excites you, you know what I mean? So just something that excites you, like you could find yourself being a hobby, you know, that could really be a career.
Yeah, and that's the truth is, and there's still things that I wanted to do when I was a kid that I would love to still do, but I don't know if that's the path for me. Like I would still love the opportunity to do these things, but career-wise, I don't think I want to do them anymore. Like Broadway or acting, I'd love the opportunity to do it, but it's kind of like I don't know if I want to do that for a career.
Yeah.
I think I would more likely like to be a director and put all the pieces together than I would to be an actor. Like career wise. But I don't know. And it's whatever. At the same time that I'm finding my path, it's whatever path finds me at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of you go where your heart, like you follow your heart, but at some point you're going to cross a path and it's just going to align. And it's going to be like you have to be at the right place at the right time. Like, you know what I mean? It's really what it is you're going to follow your heart until God shows you where you're supposed to go.
Right. And like you said about directing and acting, I think I could be both. Like I haven't taken any acting classes, but I've filmed things, so I know what looks good, you know what I'm saying? And obviously there's people that know more than me about acting and all that, which if you guys want to act in class or want more, want to get into acting more, hit me up. I know Troy Andrews, he does improv classes and acting classes and things like that. And some of them he'll do for free, you know what I'm saying? So you just got to like pitch in, like pay close attention, you know what I'm saying? And then you can get into those. But yeah, I'd like to get into some acting and stuff too, because I love being behind the camera, but you know I got this gorgeous face, you know. I definitely want to use it, you know. Yeah. And I used to want to like almost model or be an actor when I was a kid too, which was also another reason I knew I wanted to get into like film and all that. There was one day where Disney was hosting auditions to like be in like shows, you know. You remember? Yeah. So that was like what, like I want to say like 2014, around there, somewhere like that.
Yeah, I was in middle school, so 2014 I'd have been probably like
2014.
2013, 2014.
Yeah. And I wasn't in middle school, so that's how I know we were pretty close. But when Disney was coming into town, you know what I'm saying, I was like, I really want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hindsight
Like,
being 2020, I'm glad I didn't do it.
oh yeah.
Right. So I was there. I was
Uh-huh.
actually there. I was at the audition and I did it. But we were there, and my mom was talking to the people, and they wanted like $800. Like you had to pay the $800, like to, if you were accepted, you had to pay $800 just to go out for a second audition. They weren't paying for it, which was crazy.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "There's no way."
Yeah, which is why I didn't do it either, because my dad and my pops asked me. He was like, "Hey, he asked me and my sister, like, would you be interested in doing this? They're coming in town." I was like, "Yeah, I really do." And my sister was like, "Nah, she's always been the more shy person." But I was like, "Okay, cool." So I went through, like, I think he told me like a week in advance. So I went through the week. I went to school talking about it and stuff like that, you know. And then I came home that day and I was like, "Okay, when are we going to the audition?" And my mom was like, "See, I told you he'd remember." And then my pops had to break the ice, and he was like, "Hey, we can't do it now. You know, it's really expensive and we can't afford it. So I'm sorry that we can't do it." And then obviously I was hurt. I got my hopes was up for a week, but yeah, because it was so expensive, I never got that chance. You know what I'm saying?
and that was my thing. Is it was so expensive, and my mom was real with me for a second. It was just like, you're really good. You are, and everybody would tell me. I was doing plays and stuff like that, in middle school, and I got selected to go to Southeast and do a play for them as a middle schooler, stuff like this, right? And so everybody around me would tell me that I was good, like such a good actor, and I could go places, this, that, and another. And so my mom just broke it down to me. She's like, "You are really good, and we can go in here, and I guarantee you'll make it. I know you will. I know it. But then I'm not going to be able to get you to California. I'm not. We can't afford it." She said, "So I think you should continue down the path you're on of doing the plays and doing this and put yourself in a position to be seen by somebody who won't make you pay for the opportunity.
Who can get you there, like who'll just want you to like you're the one, like come with me, you know what I'm saying?"
And because that's crazy if you like, I don't know. And come to find out, hindsight being 2020 with all of the stuff that came out about Disney.
Nickelodeon and all that.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Dan Schneider and all that.
Yeah. Pretty good thing though.
That
we didn't go.
Exactly. Yeah, and that was in that time frame when all that crazy stuff was happening. Yeah. So
it's
who knows what Disney's hiding? You know what I'm saying? So that just hasn't came out yet because we didn't know about Nickelodeon until now. So what about the others? You know what I'm saying? So
truly.
And with that being said, this has been an episode of Brotherly Beliefs. Man, chase your dreams, you know what I'm saying?
All of them, small or big.
Yeah, having this conversation, you guys could see like the excitement and joy of just talking about it. So find what you guys really want to bet on yourselves on, you know what I'm saying? Go deep into it and just hit it hard, you know what I'm saying? Follow your dreams and make your childhood self happy, you know?
And always be willing to put all your chips in for it.
Yeah. So check out all of our socials. We got Facebook, we got TikTok, we got Apple Podcasts, we got YouTube, we got Spotify. You know, tap in with all those. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you guys would like to hear, what you guys like more. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to be a part of the movie we have coming up, DM both of us.
Yeah.
Our socials will be in the description. You know what I'm saying? And
like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, whatever, all of the things. And until next time,
we'll catch you guys later.